Welcome to Post Game Podcast. I'm your host, Joe, and I got my boy B Foster. And this is not an extension of the last show. We actually are doing back-to-back shows due to our schedules and conflicts. We had to do a Pistons show. We had to do our Lions show. We didn't do a preseason, but we are here to do our Pistons post game podcast show. But before we get into it, I want to remind everyone to subscribe to Bleachers and Speakers on YouTube and also follow us on all the aggregators. Make sure that's anywhere you can listen to a podcast. You can find Post Game Podcast. All you got to do is type in Post Game Podcast, FFSN in your search. Make sure you hit that notification bell on. So when we drop content, you'll get an alert and also download those episodes. And I'm going to remind you again, make sure you subscribe to Bleachers to Speakers on YouTube and subscribe to Corner to Copa on YouTube. That's the new exclusive Detroit Tigers channel. A lot of stuff to talk about there. So Foster's going to be posting some stuff there. So please make sure you subscribe to his channel. We need you. Foss, we have to talk Pistons basketball, right? And so far, 1-1. 1-1 during the 1-1 during the hold on, what is this? 1-1 during the preseason so far, but I liked what I've seen in both games. I think the first game, Memphis jumped out to a crazy. And the thing is, like, we were in the middle of the Central Division show, right, and I didn't mention it.
Be tight-lipped about this one. We'll see how it goes.
I didn't mention anything about the game being on. They said that the Bulls had a game, and I looked at the score and I saw the Pistons getting dragged in the first half. I'm like, nope, not saying a word. Didn't say a word. But as soon as we got ordered out of the show, the Pistons started scoring, and Cade put on a highlight reel of just buckets. And they did all that without Duren. Duren didn't play.
Duren has not played.
He has not played. He didn't play in game 2 as well. But from what I saw, I'm liking what I'm seeing. And in game 2, we got a special treat. We had a Bobby Clintman sighting that was very impressive. I think he had a putback dunk.
Hit a
3. And I'm like, okay, this is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. And I think we're in for a good season. I like what we got going on. The Central Division show reminded me, though, how small we are.
Yeah.
Duren is our big man. He's the only 6'11", 7-foot guy on the team. At power forward, you got 6'6" Tobias Harris, and I saw Tobias standing next to Cade, and Cade's taller than him.
Oh yeah, 6'8". Cade is 6'8".
It's clearly taller than him. Like, they were standing next to each other. I'm like, wow, Cade's taller than him. That's crazy. Cade's taller than him, and off the bench at center, I mean, we have Stewart. Stewart's 6'6", 6'7". Cade's taller than him.
That's crazy.
So we're lacking up front as far as his size, but I do think we're good to go. Hold on a second, Foss.
Yeah, he's right though. We are lacking in size. I almost want to wait till he gets back, but I think we saw a lineup in the second game where every individual was 6'6" or taller, which is another interesting fold that we can bring into the game. Is with Cade being our true point guard and him being, 6'6", 6'7". We can also. Did you hear what I was talking about?
No.
Okay, so what I was saying was interesting about the fact that we are certainly small. You know, our power forward indeed is 6'6", but we also have the ability to put out on the floor a lineup where everybody is 6'6" or taller, with Cade being 6'6" or however tall he is. Who else they have out there? I think they had Duncan Robinson, they had Asar out there, and then Harris, and then um, I think Stewart started, but normally you'd have Duran out there. So with us having a point guard that's 6'6" and having other tall guards, we can also be um, at the same time, big in certain lineups. So
Yeah. Tall, tall
interesting
backcourt.
backcourt, yeah.
Tall backcourt, by all means, and Oscar Thompson, he's 6'9" with a heck of a wingspan at your small forward. So, um, it's tall in the backcourt, but small up front. MSU Detroit fan has a very interesting question, Foster, and I think I have the answer, but I want to hear what you have to say. Do y'all think Jazz Lanier will make the team or start in the G League with the Crews?
I think ooh, I think that it still ends up being Jenkins and Tolu Smith being the two guys that kind of bounce back and forth between the G League. I think Lanier is going to be similar to what I thought about Ron Holland, where I thought initially that he was going to be spend some time in the G League, but as we can see, he played all 82 games, um, or 81 game. I think he got suspended one game, but where he played the entire season with with the uh, with the parent club. I think he's. I've seen some things. I think that I think that Duncan Robinson ultimately will end up being trade. I think between him and Levert, whoever is less, who's ever less valuable, deemed valuable, I can see them being, the odd man out, and Lanier being able to take over. But too soon to say. I think Bobby. I don't know. Yeah, I think that you're more likely to see Bobby Clinton spend some more time in the G League, but we'll see. Somebody needs to emerge, and neither one of those. Well, Clinton is a 4, but Lanier is more of a 3. So, um, yeah, I think Clinton is probably less prone to be usable right now. But you were kind of nodding your head. What do you think?
I think I think this is a guard heavy team.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to be really tough to keep him on the active roster.
Lanier.
Yeah, I think it's
Yeah.
going to be I think it's going to be tough to keep him on the bench. I think you got guys like Tolo Smith, is much needed size. So I think he'll be uh, on the bench. I think he'll be on the roster more so than anything out of those three that you mentioned. I do think Bobby Clintman has a chance to be on the roster and not so much time in the G League because of his size.
I think that Tolu Smith, if he was more, I think he's more of uh, a traditional back to the basket center guy. If he was more of a floor spacer or somebody that could guard the 4, I think that he would have a clear lane to get some playing time. But I'd like to see Paul Reed. If you can play Paul Reed and Stewart together, one thing I've seen about Stewart is he seems to be um, taking more of those outside shots, where we saw him 2 years ago hit 38% from 3 on a decent volume. He didn't do as much as that of that last year, but I think he's been spacing the floor well um, so far this year. So you might see him play some more 4 and maybe Reed play the 5 or vice versa.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's a guard heavy team. It's to the point to where if Foster mentioned Karis LeVert and Robinson, they're not solidified. They could be shipped out, and they play guard.
Yeah.
So it's a very, very, and if Chaz is that
Yeah.
that even increases those chances of those guys being shipped out. What the Pistons really need is that 4. They're still looking for that 4, whether it's coming off the bench or starting 4. They need that piece, and I think they're not going to stop looking until they can get it, until they find that piece.
You've been hearing a lot of
Mhm.
marketing.
Yeah.
They've been. I don't know what's to that, if that's just people talking or what, but
And
I
it
don't
very
know.
well could be people just talking, but I know that they didn't walk into this season not knowing how small they were up front and what they needed. After the Knicks lost, everybody and their mama said we needed a stretch for it. The same thing
And
we've been
keep in
preaching.
mind, we didn't have Stewart out there. He's the first one in line to say, "Hey, if I was out there, things would have been different."
Yeah. MSU Detroit fan says, I'm still going with starting 5 as Cade, Tobias, Duran, Osser, and Ivy. Duke Duncan is our 6th man, then Holland, Levert, and Sasser, the extra guys. Reed and Stewart are the big. Now you got to keep in mind, you start 5, and it's during the season, you may see a 9-man rotation. You might. There's very rare when they go 10. And if you're looking at that, you got your starting 5. You got Duncan at 6, Holland 7, Levert 8, Sasser 9, Reed 10, and Stewart 11. They're not going to play 11 deep no time, ever. So we know that Holland is going to get his due. Sasser might be the one out of that list. Sasser and Reed might be the ones out of that, because that makes 11. Sasser and Reed will be the first one out, and that the rest will be that 9 that plays. So and that varies depending upon foul trouble or injuries like that. So you do have Reed and Sasser will be in the tuck. Put it like that. You will see Stewart, you will see Duncan, you will see Holland, you will see Levert. So
I got a question.
Sure.
From the two games that you've seen, are there anybody that you've seen that has made a campaign for extra minutes? That if we walked into preseason with a preconceived notion of who was going to be getting what minutes, do you think anybody stepped in and said and performed in a way to where they could be campaigning for more minutes?
That's a tough question, because I've seen bits and pieces of the game too. But from what I've seen, Holland. I think Holland has made a statement saying, hey, this last year was not any kind of fluke. I belong here and I'm improved. From what I've seen from Holland, he's definitely made a vie for more minutes. Definitely. I've seen Duncan Robinson hit some shots. That's all you got to do. If you can space the floor with you, and he looked very good in the first game.
Game 1.
Yeah, I didn't see him much in the second game because, like I said, I watched in the spots, but
he was rough in game 2. I think he went like 1 for 7 from 3.
Yeah, so there's that. Haven't seen much Karis LeVert in either game, and
he sat one game.
Yeah, so. But I think Holland is that guy that says, hey, I'm here. I'm going to play. I'm going to read a couple comments from MSU Detroit fan. Tom Izzo ran a bench rotation for MSU last year, so I kind of got used to being able to sub in guys that are just as good as the starters. Yeah,
we just signed Aikens
Aiken. Yeah.
Reminded me.
That's going to be that's another piece of competition, because he can actually play point guard, and he's a very good defender.
Yeah, it's actually an interesting. That's actually an interesting acquisition because I was just thinking, as far as guys that I think are making a bid, I think Dennis Jenkins continues to show that he's
Mm-hmm.
been that he has the potential to possibly. I mean, it's going to be tough because obviously Sasser's still kind of in his way, but he's taller and a little bit more athletic than Sasser, so. Um, I think you're going to eventually find a situation where something's got to get there. We still don't know what the backup point guard position is going to really look like because Ivy's kind of, they're kind of slowly bringing him back. So we don't know how much they're going to stagger him and Cade. But um, I mean, essentially, for all intents and purposes, Sasser is the backup. He's taken over that. I mean, unless Levert gets more of those backup, primary ball handler roles. Essentially, Sasser is the backup point guard right now, but Jenkins is he's a little bit taller, a little more athletic. He can get to the rim better. Like I don't know. I'm curious because he didn't play much at all last year. I don't think they trusted him to that extent, but they haven't exactly just given Sasser the reins either. So
Right. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting, but MSU Detroit fan says, I do know NBA and college are different, but our bench is somewhat decent with the fact that we have Holland, Duncan, and Levert. Yeah. I think the team is deeper than what it was last year. I think the depth, when like we had our core. We had our core. We know During, Cade, Thompson is our core, right? And you add in Tobias Harris and you bring Ivy back. You know what I'm saying? That's your five, and that's a good starting five, in my opinion. Very
yeah,
good.
I was going to say that. Yeah, we're certainly deeper in the fact that we're going into the year with Ivy and Thompson. You got to remember that Thompson didn't start the year, and about as soon as we could get Thompson rolling, Ivy got hurt. So when you do a clean replacement for, let's say, Levert for Hardaway, you say Robinson for Fontecchio, and then I guess Ivy for Beasley would be even though we kind of had them both together, but once again they didn't play together very long. So going in healthy, we have a equally deep roster. It's just gonna come down to who can. Well, like I said, Ivy being back is going to alleviate what we might have missed a little bit as far as what Beasley brought to the table. It's a wonder. I mean, we still bring Beasley. I guess Lanier. You throw Lanier in there too. But what do you ask?
MSU Detroit fan said, "Now is Duncan and Levert better than Malik and TH?" And are you talking about Tim Hardaway? Probably not, but still decent. I hate to compare those. But if you're not going to have Malik and you replace him with Duncan as a shooter, I ain't mad at that.
I think Levert's better than Hardaway.
I think Levert is better than Hardaway. And you said it's too many Wolverines. Well, guess what? You have to cheer for them. Whether you like it or not, you got to cheer for them.
It's true.
And so they graduated from college a long time ago. Let it go, bro. They're pros. Let's not do that. It's over.
Hey, he's living true to the name. I respect him being true to.
I get it, but
to the alias.
If that Wolverine hits the game-winning shot for the championship, you're not gonna be mad because he's a Wolverine.
That is extreme.
I'm saying you cheer for all the Pistons, no matter what school they come from. Am I correct? If you're a fan,
yeah.
So hey, it is what it is. MSU Detroit fan says, "Well, just add Duncan Robinson be a Piston if Malik didn't get in trouble." No, I don't think so. Not at all. I think you keep. The thing is, you're so loaded at guard. and you know you're missing Malik, you had to replace a 3-point shooter with a 3-point shooter. He was so lethal from 3 points land. You just can't just not have one.
Crazy to think that we kind of still have an open lane to just bring him back, but obviously that investigation. I mean, he actually made a statement the other day saying that, unfortunately, NBA has to do their own whatever, and so could be a spark down the line. We'll never know.
We'll see. He hasn't signed anywhere else. Let's take a quick break. If you're watching, you're gonna give us about 10, 15 seconds. If you're listening, you're gonna hear some wonderful ads. You notice I cut it off before they had any Michigan State players playing, just showed the Michigan. So,
yeah.
Anyway. Anyway, back to what I was saying. No, the bottom line is we may not have the lethal shooter that we had last year. You have to wait and see how it plays out. Shooters can go into a slump at any minute. And Malik put up franchise numbers last year. That may not be replaced.
League high numbers, honestly.
Yeah, and even if he was to come back, he might not have matched those numbers. So that's another thing to think about too. So
yeah, that's true.
So we kind of stole, MSU Detroit fans said we kind of stole Duncan from Miami since it was Simone for a second round. And you know what? I was on the get rid of Simone train. Like, you got to think about it, right? Coming from me, I was like, we have to do something with Fontecchio. And to pick up Duncan Robinson in exchange, that was a win for me.
Yeah, I forget that we didn't. I guess it was a sign and trade. Yeah, we were able to dump a little bit of salary in the process. So,
yeah. So we have who we have until there's some changes, and what we have, I don't mind having. If we're going to lose Malik Beasley, and you brought in Duncan Robinson because of that, I ain't mad at that. You had to replace him with something. And like Foster mentioned, the door's not shut on Malik Beasley. This is where he wants to be, and I think that's the most important thing. He wants to be here. I'm still on cloud nine when the Pistons players went to London in the offseason on their own dollar, and Malik was right there with them. That's bonding.
That was interesting. It
was very interesting. MSU Detroit fan says, I'll take a reunion with Malik then Westbrook.
Westbrook will be fun, man.
He plays hard, though.
He plays so hard. What Detroit would love Russell Westbrook.
His hustle would be, and he's somebody, he's a point guard off the bench that we don't have at that level. MSU Detroit fan says, if we were to talk Russ from 2 years ago, maybe, but I feel like Russ would hurt the chemistry and team we have, even if it's to be a bench player. I don't get that vibe from Russ ruining team chemistry.
I think that Russ has always got a bad rap, but when you listen to the players talk about him, they love him. Yeah.
Very highly. I mean, he's a high character guy.
I don't think anyone's ever said, oh, I don't think Russ is trying hard enough. Like, I don't think it's
Russ got a bad rap that 1 year in LA. Like, they really
he was a scapegoat, wasn't he?
Yeah, they really drug his name. They really trashed him. But he had some bad games with them, and I get it. But for the most part, during the season, like even with Denver, Russ he's been a spark for them. He was a spark for them last couple of years, and he came here playing for Denver against us last year, and he was putting in work. So MSU Detroit fan, he can prove me wrong, but who knows? Bad boy mentality will be back with him and Beef together. Hey, yo. Yeah. I think you know what, and that's crazy that you mentioned that because I think Stewart embodies that bad boy. Uh, that era of basketball where he's the enforcer. Like hard fouls, stepping up, wishing somebody would type vibe. He exemplifies that, man, and I like what Stewart brings to the table, and I think uh Stewart is a very important player off the bench for this team. Like he's going to block shots, he's going to make you some shots. He's just when you think don't shoot it, he makes a shot. You know what I'm saying? He's he's the best shot blocker on the team by far. Even though Duran's getting better. He was horrible 3 years ago. Well, he's last year he he stepped up. Like he gave up too many and ones the year before, man. Too many and ones to guards. It's like, come on.
Yeah, that's what killed me. It'd be
And
like
ones?
be a little guy. It'd be Jose Alvarado, 6', 175. Like, why is Carlos Arroyo doing you dirty like this?
Yeah, Josh Hart and one. Like, come on.
Josh Hart is tough, but yeah.
Man, do you remember that game in the Garden? It was a regular season game. We were up, we were winning, and we would have won that game. But Josh Hart got an and one over Duran. It was like, come on, bro.
Yeah,
Man, come on, bro. MSU Detroit fan says Ron is tough. Also, we saw at least 3 different times the 19-year-old is no pushover, squaring up against Utah, going toe to toe with Draymond. Did he?
Draymond.
I didn't see him go toe to toe with Draymond. I'm not saying anything.
They might have crossed paths.
And that brawl against Minnesota. Now, I don't advise him to go toe to toe with Draymond. You might want to get behind Stu. You might want to get behind Stu. And that brawl against Minnesota, he got manhandled in that brawl.
Hey, it made him. Hey, if that flashback to that doesn't make you do at least 1 or 2 more reps, under the bench, I don't know what will.
He got up under him. DiVincenzo got up under him. It was over. It was over. He couldn't do nothing with DiVincenzo. Nothing. And he's only 19. He was only 19, 18, 19 years old. So that's a grown man out there.
A grown man strength right there.
Awesome. But hey, he's not backing down now. He's not backing down. And like I said, I don't know what Holland did in the second game, preseason game, but I like what I saw in the first game. And I think he's a person that's going to vie for more playing time. Also, Thompson missed a lot of free throws.
We haven't even got to that, but I feel like the hype. I feel like the hype is there with him. I think that, like, when you look at the content around the league talking about slept on players or players that could be making that leap, Asar, and part of that is due to his brother who didn't have to deal with the blood clot injury, making his leap. But I think I see an effort to put the ball in his hands more, and it looks as if he's going to be able to get to the lane. But yeah, he's going to have to make some free throws, because if I'm them, I'm using every opportunity. Yeah, I'm using any opportunity I can to put him on the line and seeing what he can do, because it's not there yet.
Yeah.
But he's got the physical tools and attributes. You want a guy you want to put the ball in the hands of somebody as athletic as him, because not too many people are athletically on his level.
Yeah. MSU Detroit fans says other teams are realized to keep a body between them and Isaiah. And unfortunately, Ron was that guy. The Wolves went after, yeah.
Hey, the Wolves go after them. That's how Wolves do, I'm not to call them a sheep or anything, but
yeah. Well, it is what it is, man. That brawl was something else, man. And we lost that game. That's the most important thing I got out of it. We were putting BTA before that.
They took all that. They
lost Stewart, lost Holland, and somebody else.
Stewart got through out in that game.
Stewart,
I guess if anybody is,
Stewart got through out. So we were putting
Cade was hurt.
yeah, I don't know, but it was BTA before that.
Yeah, I want to say this was back when Cade, Cade missed like 3-4 games before the playoffs started.
I don't think Cade was hurt that game.
You think he played that game? Maybe he did. I know that we were already shorthanded. So when the ejections happened, we were even.
MSU Detroit fans said there was we only had 7 guys in that game, and that was during the stretch of no Cades. So
Okay.
Cade didn't play.
Yeah, we were shorthanded already. We were down to, I think Fontecchio was getting tick in that game.
Yeah, throwing the towel.
Yeah, we were. Yeah, we was on there because I was in Minnesota. I went to the one in Detroit, and we dogged them. I think Ant had like 50 or something, but we destroyed them.
Yeah,
it was Ant versus everybody in that game.
Yeah, I mean, we like I said, we was dealing with them. Well, then that happened. Dang, no Cade, no Tobias, Ron and Sasser. Yeah, Sasser got through out too.
So Cade and Tobias were hurt.
Yeah.
And then obviously Isaiah, Ron, and Sasser were involved.
Yeah. So, before that it was we was putting on a clinic.
Mm-hmm.
So, first game was before the Lions played the Vikings for the NFC North game.
Oh, it was Detroit versus Minnesota. He got the knowledge.
Yeah. Well, that was BTA. And JB was ejected, so Luke Walton was calling the game. Yeah. Bickerstaff got ejected too.
Oh yeah. Right. Yeah, you're right. How did that happen?
He went off. He was going off.
Yeah.
He was going off.
Yeah.
So
that was a.
You know what, Foster? One thing I like JB Bickerstaff as our coach. That's the first time in a long time that I can say I'm very comfortable with him being here a while. Like, I know last year was just 1 year, but at this rate, the way he's coaching and the way he's developing, I think we got our guy for a little while. And it's been a while since I said that about the Pistons team as far as a coach. Might have been.
We got some pretty good coaches. I think we got one. Jury may still be out on AJ.
I mean, I'm talking, optimistically, and I'm talking from an optimistic standpoint. And I'm talking way too soon. He only had 1 year, so we still have to watch what a call. Well, we got to be cautious about that. But as of right now, I like who we have as a coach. Really do. Is JB the second coming of Daly? Slow down. Okay? Slow down. We're not doing that. We are not.
He's off to a fine start.
He's off to a great.
He's off to a fine start. We'll say that. I mean, he got put out in the first round, but he did have to turn around one of the worst teams in NFL history. I mean, NBA history. So,
MSU Detroit fan is going to back it up with some facts. He said both had the thing of being fired by the Cavs and then became the Pistons.
Man, hey, he is on it.
He is doing his research.
I didn't know that he came from Cleveland. That's
not bad for a Spartan. This guy.
Hey, he representing us well.
Yeah, he is on it. A lot of good facts. But Coach Daly did so much, like 2 championships, made him respectable for a very long time. I mean, for a few years before that, before the 2 championships, made him respectable. After the championship, while he was there, made him respectable. Still was respectable. So it was time for Jordan. That's all it was. If there's no Jordan, Coach Daly wins more. But Jordan, there was a man named Jordan that came to town, that came to Chicago, and they went on their run. And they did their thing. Let's see. MSU Detroit says, my name ain't just something I thought up. Also, ESPN won't hire me. ESPN needs to give you a job, bro. I guarantee you that you need a spot, in my opinion, on that panel. You need a morning show. Need a morning show. Well, Foster, you want to put a bow on this so we can get out of here? I'm gonna let the people enjoy the rest of their Sunday.
So far, so good. The biggest thing for me is the handful of new guys that we get to see and how they mesh with the core and the guys that we already are bringing back. So hopefully we get to see a little bit more Karis LeVert, and hopefully we get to see a little bit of Duran before it's all said and done. I want to
before you finish your point. When is the first official game of the season?
It's versus Celtics. I know that much. The 24th, is that?
They're not scary. They're not scary no more.
What you mean?
No Tatum.
Oh, you're talking about the Celtics aren't scary. Oh, no. But let me see. I'm curious at this point. 24th? No, we play the Rockets on the 24th. Bulls. Oh, no, we start later for that.
It's later than the 24th?
Nah, I want to say the opener is against the Celtics. So
MSU Detroit fan, when is the Pistons first?
Yeah. He's like Chat GPT.
He probably already knows. He's like, you probably know the date, time,
Maybe we play the Bulls. Maybe the Bulls is the first game on the 22nd.
Interesting.
No, we always play the Bulls early. I swear I saw something advertised for this.
Interesting. The Bulls are projected by some of our friends to finish 6th.
Man.
I'm just saying.
I want to see some more Ivy, though. I didn't get a chance to. I don't think I got to see too much of him before they sat him down.
He played pretty well in the first game.
Yeah.
He looked pretty good in the first game.
Yeah, the Bulls is the first game of the season. The Celtics is the second one, I guess. The Celtics is the home opener. That's what it is. Okay. No. Yes. The Celtics is the home opener. The game.
October 22nd is the first game.
It's the Bulls.
And October 24th is the home opener. And
that's 26. 26.
26. We do have. And that's a Sunday, right?
Yes. And we go see KD in Houston on the 24th in game 2.
You want to see KB in Houston?
No, I'm saying that the Pistons are going to see KB.
Oh, I thought you meant another KB. Battle rap. Anyway, I didn't know, man. I don't know. You said anyway.
D.
Okay, D. I thought you said KB. My bad. But the 26th is my birthday. We might see if we can get tickets for that home opener. I don't know, man. They probably taxing the tickets.
Home opener, yeah. Hopefully it's a packed house.
Yeah. That MSU Detroit fan is on it, man. He's on it.
I really hope we beat them because I don't want to hear it. I told you. 6 seed.
We're not going crazy.
Kobe White is a MVP.
We're not going crazy over one game. We're not going crazy over one game. Because I ain't going to talk crazy if we win.
Oh, no. It's light. It's light if we win, but
it's light. It's game 1. It's light. Now, if we win the first 10 games and we beat them in game 11, I told y'all wasn't ready. That's what we're here.
Oh, yeah. We're going to be good.
Let's get out of here, Foster. We're going to let these people enjoy their Sunday football. We usually don't record or do anything during games, but we had to get our media content in. Make sure you're subscribing to Bleachers to Speakers on YouTube. Make sure you do that. Subscribe to Bleachers to Speakers on YouTube. Also, subscribe to Corner to Copa on YouTube. Foster, I am on a personal mission to get to 500 subscribers by the end of the year. I was told one of the things is to upload those shorts, and I got clips uploaded for the rest of the week. You'll see one drop every day. So That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna load at least one clip, one mini short, one short. They said the shorts. The shorts will get you there. So I'm gonna try for a month straight to do a short every day. And we'll see how that goes. Make sure you subscribe to Bleachers to Speakers on YouTube.